What is good further beyonders, bro? We still don't got a name for y'all, but y'all were attacking us last week anyway, so y'all don't even get a name anymore. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. The comments were wild, but it's not like I wasn't doing any research. I was looking into it, and I never stated anything to be factual. It's just rumors. It's just what people are telling, like online and shit. If you got offended at this, I'm sorry. I'm actually not. I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess I can explain it better, like for the, I guess the ones that came back to see exactly what I had to say this episode. But like everything we talk about are conspiracies. It's not factual. Like if you go back and watch even any of the episodes of Further Beyond, like none of them are us stating fact. Like we should start off with like I guess a little like message, basically saying these are all conspiracies. We don't know if this all to be true, but like all the research he did was just saying like he was just repeating research basically. Like, he didn't just make something up. Like he definitely saw that all this was happening. Maybe like he saw like some documents or like photo evidence and stuff like that. He didn't just make that up. But yeah, nothing on here is fact. It's all conspiracy that we have done research by. So don't don't get mad at us for us doing research on y'all's stuff. So goodbye to the world.com people that listen to it for the first 3 seconds. I'll see y'all some other time, I guess.
Damn.
How you been, bro?
Yeah, doing fine, doing well. Nothing happening. This topic I found for today, not too long, but it is weird, and I could probably, if I wanted to, expand on it like next episode or whenever, because this whole area has just so much to offer that it's just kind of funny, kind of weird, that it might that it's actually true, probably like 99%. But I just picked one thing. I'm gonna just call it for now before I tell everyone what it is. Should I start or do you want to start?
Mine is a little bit longer, so I guess I can go first this time.
All right.
All right, bet, say less. Mine is actually going to be about Alcatraz, because I was talking to the homie Jez and Taco, and apparently they didn't know anything about like just the jail cell itself. Like Alcatraz is basically like a huge meme. I feel like it's like I was just telling them like just about different facts that I just knew about it randomly, and they're like, "What, really?" And I thought it was just like major knowledge everybody knew about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Alcatraz. The things that have happened inside there, the escapes and stuff like that. So it starts off basically. Alcatraz was first founded in like 1849. The island itself is at. It was actually located off the coast of San Francisco, about 1.5 miles, about 2 miles. Before it was turned into a prison, it was just an island. So it was just like there was nothing over there, barely any vegetation. But they did notice that like there was a crazy amount of like seagulls and seabirds over there. So the original name for Alcatraz Island actually was the Isle of the Pelicans, because there was just so many seagulls and pelicans over there. So in 1849, after the island was founded, it was sold to the government to be like just complete government property, and they were allowed to do whatever they wanted with that entire island basically. So they started the process of creating a prison. Alcatraz wasn't a federal prison until much later though. First it started off as like a military prison, so if anybody did any type of war crimes, or if you tried to leave war, like back then leaving war was a huge deal, because like everybody was required to do it. There were so many wars back then that it was just like a huge disregard of just life itself if you were to try to leave it. So they throw you inside prison instead of just dealing with you another way. It didn't become a federal prison until 1934. So if you guys don't know about Alcatraz, if you only know the name, this is basically one of the prisons where the worst of the worst people would be inside here. Like think if you think of like Azkaban from Harry Potter, or
EDP,
or the Arkham Asylum. Like it's just think of like one of like the animated made up prisons, and that's what it was in real life basically. So you had like the Al Capones, all of the most famous serial killers would all get sent to Alcatraz. Like just the worst people would be inside there, and EDP as well, of course. So the prison is extremely famous to this day, but it really was only active for about 30 years. Like the prison was only a federal prison from about 1934 to 1963, and then of course it was shut down because like it was so harsh. Like everything inside there was like, just think of how bad prisons are today. It was just like that scaled to about 10 times. They just didn't care about human life.
It's not a thing anymore?
No, it closed down in 1963.
Damn, for some reason I always thought like, I mean, it almost sounds like a legend because, I don't hear it a lot. But I always just assumed it's like, sure, it's like a very famous prison, but I always thought it's, maybe still open, kinda. But it looks like it's not. Interesting.
Nah, I mean, it
Never.
closed down.
Yeah.
It closed down almost 40, 50 years ago. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But
Never really looked into it.
that's all I was wondering.
Yeah.
Like, people don't really know much about this prison. Like, even me redoing this research, like, I knew it was closed down because people do like tours and stuff of it, and they say it's like haunted to this day. But I didn't know it was only active for 30 years. Like, I thought it was like from like the 1800s to the 1900s. But
Damn, never visit Alcatraz at 3 a.m. in the
yeah, the
morning.
challenge, yeah. Surprised nobody's done that yet. But yeah, it closed down in 1963, and throughout all of its active years, for the 30 years it was actually a federal prison, there was only 14 separate escape attempts that were made by 36 different inmates. So like there'd be like different groups that would try to escape together, and some of them ended very violent. Like I think there was 7 people that were shot trying to escape. There were 5 people that, of course, were thrown back into prison. Like there were so many different escape attempts, but only one was actually successful, which of course we'll get to that at the end of this. But as of right now, the first escape attempt was in 1945, so it was probably about 10 years after the place had been open. An inmate was assigned laundry duty by a guard. So if you guys don't know how prison works, I mean, I don't either, but like from what I got, the gist of it basically is if you guys have seen any movie, of course, guards will assign you a job basically that you have to do every single day. It's like real life, but you don't get paid for it. Like you're a slave to it. So his one job to do every single day was to do the military's laundry, because like I said earlier, this was government property and they own it, so they were sending their laundry there, and it's like their suits and socks and just nasty stuff they had over in war. They would send it to Alcatraz for the prisoners to clean it. So his job was to just clean all the military outfits and then put them inside this bag, then put them on the boat and then ship it back off to the government. Well, he got the genius idea to start stealing an article of clothing every single day. So one day he stole a hat, one day he stole a sock, next day the next sock, and then some pants. And like he stole an entire outfit of a military users over the course of like 2 weeks.
And getting the bag, I have to respect it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to respect these attempts, because like these attempts, they're actually crazy. So over the course of the next 2 weeks, he was able to steal an entire full military uniform to the point where he looked exactly like a soldier. So he put on the uniform one night. He looked like a uniform. He looked like a military soldier. And then that morning, he was able to walk out of his jail cell after they opened up all the gates and stuff. And he was able to just walk straight out of the prison. So he was able to get on this boat that, of course, like I said, they would throw the bags and stuff onto the boats. And, of course, on the boats would be different military soldiers. And they thought he was a part of the group because he was wearing a full military uniform. They greeted him like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, what's going on? So he got right on the boat, and then the ship sailed off. And it would have been successful if immediately the officers noticed that his jail cell was completely empty when they're all supposed to be staying inside their rooms. So they called like a whole island shut down, the alarms rang, and then they made the ship come back, and then they grabbed him and threw him right back inside the jail cell and then stripped him naked. So if he would have like put like a like a bunch of clothes to make it seem like he was still inside bed or something, he could have escaped. But other than that one fault and that one foul plan, he definitely got thrown back into it. Another escape attempt was in 1962. An inmate was given the job of like going inside the storage room and just like scrubbing the walls every day. So they gave him like a whole bunch of lard and stuff to clean the walls and floors and a whole bunch of stuff like that. Well, he would go in there every single day and notice that there was this window that led directly outside of the prison. Like Alcatraz, of course, there's windows that show the ocean and island that surrounds the prison. So he was like, okay, well, I'm going to come in here every single day and loosen this one single bolt. So he would come in there, shake it one day, then shake it harder the next day. And it lasted probably about a month. He just kept shaking that bar until finally it broke off. Well, after getting that one bar off the window, he then got completely naked, covered himself inside the cleaning lard that he was using to scrub the floors and stuff, so it become extremely slippery. and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
squeezed his way through the window to where he basically just plopped out of the prison into the ocean. Nobody realized he was going for a while, actually. Like, he, of course, was then tasked with, because I said earlier, the island was 2 miles away from shore. So he had to swim, like, an entire 2 miles from the prison all the way into the shore, which is not, it's not even easy to run 2 miles. So swimming 2 miles is absolutely fucking insane. But he ended up getting on the shore, but he was so tired by the time that he got to the shore that he ended up, like, falling straight asleep. And as soon as he woke up, he awoke to like 5 different officers surrounding him.
Damn, man.
and
So
grabbed
close.
him and threw him back in there.
Bro, he had to surpass his limits like some anime protagonist. Like, yeah, he had to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he wouldn't have fallen asleep, he definitely could have made it. That's the funniest part. Like, he ended up falling asleep, and then they caught him and immediately put him back inside prison, added like 30 more years to his sentence. But
Yeah, look at us, like, kind of rooting for the people escaping. Like, we don't even know what they did. Like, they could be
but,
some
like,
ruthless criminals.
I'm respecting like the effort though. Like the
Yeah,
fact
yeah.
that you go through all that, like the one dude stole an article of clothing every single day. This dude covered himself in lard and plopped himself out of the jail. Like, they went through like crazy things to get out of here.
Yeah.
As I did say earlier, there was one successful escape attempt. So this took place in one of the last few years that the prison was open. It closed in 1963. This one took place in 1962, probably a few months after the lard dude. Their names were John, Frank, and Clarence. So these three, of course, they were assigned 3 different jobs. One was in the kitchen, one was like doing just like workshop and stuff like that, and the other one was probably like in the jail cell, like probably cleaning like the police officers' boots and stuff like that. So they spent the next several months. The kitchen guy stealing like several forks, spoons, knives. The workshop guy was able to steal like a whole drill, like a whole bunch of different electrical appliances and stuff like that. And the other guy was able to steal like some articles of clothing. Well, they came together after several months and waited until one night when it was storming and nobody be able to hear them. If you guys have seen Shawshank Redemption, like that, it sounds very similar to what these guys are about to do. Except for the end of it, of course. But after they were able to like wait till the storm, every single time, like the lightning was striking stuff, they would try to dig that hole so they can make their way outside of this prison. They were able to do it that night with all 3 of them, consecutively getting in, like hammering it with the electrical tools and stuff like that. So they were able to break out of the prison. And of course, they're faced with that 2 miles. Like, that's always the hardest part. Like, how I'm going to get, I can easily escape this prison, but how am I going to get from the prison to the 2 mile away shore? So these guys are actually smart. All the stuff that it's stolen from the police officers and stuff had been basically different raincoats. They had stolen toilet paper, a whole bunch of cardboard, and of course, next to that police officer's unit where they were like scrubbing shoes and stuff was a barber shop. They were also able to steal a whole bunch of human hair. So with all these raincoats, toilet paper, cardboard, and human hair, they were able to create an actual like sustainable life raft somehow. I have no idea how, but like, just imagine like a huge like life raft made out of basically like raincoats and stuff. So they were actually able to make it off the island. The thing is, like, nobody ever knows what exactly happens to them. Like, they could have easily escaped, but they were never found. Of course, they saw the other people's mistakes and like seeing, I guess the police would check the beds every single night. So the guy in the barber shop had stolen like a mannequin head for all 3 of them and like placed the mannequin head in all of their beds. So whenever the police officers, like when they checked their cells or whatever, they would see heads in there and be like, okay, next one, and just move on. It's like nobody ever knows what happens to these 3 guys. Like, nobody knows if they died. Nobody knows if they were able to successfully escape and create new identities for themselves. But these are the only 3 people in the entirety of all of Alcatraz that were able to escape. It's actually pretty interesting, really.
The perfect escape. You don't even know if they actually escaped.
Yeah, like it's really one of those things where like we'll literally never know because like they escaped and the government doesn't want to admit defeat that somebody was actually able to escape like this huge prison that is inescapable. I'm pretty sure Harry Houdini, if you guys know who that is, like a huge magician, he also was like made a whole thing of trying to escape from this prison. Like, it was actually like extremely famous back in the day. They do a bunch of tours through these days because it's apparently haunted. It's a very interesting prison. Like, I want to go there, like, if I ever go to California, because I'm just into like creepy shit.
Mm.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun to, honestly. But yeah, that's Alcatraz. What you
Yeah,
got,
visiting.
man?
Yeah, before I even go there, I just looked up like Alcatraz because I didn't know it was like a super popular, what's it called, tourist attraction. I also checked the prices. It's like it's fairly expensive just to enter, kind of like 40 euros, 50 euros. That's pretty high. I don't know how much that is in dollars, but what can you even look at like I don't know, visit, like what can you even like look at in there? Is there anything interesting?
Yeah, I mean, it's haunted. That's like the whole like basically thing about it is you can take an entire tour around the prison and they'll show you different jail cells and it's a whole island. So there's a
Yeah.
apart from the Alcatraz prison, there's also like a city on that same island where of course like the police and their families stay. So
Yeah.
like, it's a whole island that you can explore, and apparently the entire island is haunted because like so many people died on there, and just it's crazy. Because like when I say people tried to escape, there was like 14 attempts, but about 7 of those attempts, like the guards just caught them running and shot them right where they were.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Damn.
it's like a haunted house basically that you just go through and look through.
Alcatraz got a clean 4.7 out of 5 stars.
The prison,
33. Yeah.
the tour.
No, the island. Like the island on Google has a near perfect score.
Oh, and it's I'm pretty sure you can pay to stay the night too.
Oh, you
So, like,
can
even
ooh,
after
ooh,
tour,
ooh.
yeah. That's probably why it costs so much, because like after the tour, they can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like they give you the option like, okay, do you want to stay in this cell for the whole night? We'll lock
The
you in.
conspiracy theory is that some people never return after sleeping there. Dun dun dun. Of course. Looks interesting. Looks interesting. If I were to live near that area, I might check it out. But it's like just too much work for someone outside the US to go there just to visit this. I mean, I want to say legendary place, but that shit is definitely not legendary. Shit is far from legendary.
Nah, not at all. Like, it literally was only open for 30 years. I don't know what it was that just made it so popular to people. Because
Probably
like,
because of the brutality, I would assume. Or maybe
maybe
just
it's
of the
just like they
name.
really
The
sold
name
on
is
the
nice.
fact that everybody that was trapped inside there, like the Al Capones, like these were the worst of the worst people.
Yeah, makes sense though. I guess it's not even like, maybe it's not even the brutality things that some people say about it, because I believe, from what I understand, a lot of U.S. prisons are fairly brutal to their inmates. So if that hasn't changed over the years, then I don't think Alcatraz is a lot different there. Maybe I'm wrong. Not really sure how U.S. prisons are look like currently. I mean.
Well, I'm pretty sure they look pretty well, but I think they just treat the prisoners extremely bad inside there. No matter what prison it is.
Okay, I mean, for my theory, we don't need to go too far away from the whole, prison thing. But I mean, okay, it's not about prisons; it's about the CIA. But I'm kind of connecting the whole government thing. And the funny thing about the CIA is, what I was talking about at the beginning, is that the CIA, like you can basically make up any conspiracy, and it will always sound believable because the CIA has done so much weird shit over the years, and only comes out with certain info every couple years. And the thing I was most confused about when looking through some of the examples was a story about the CIA faking vampire attacks in the Philippines to get rid of the people there, like soldiers, like enemies, whatever, and that this actually happened. Like, there isn't specific proof, but there is a book, like a journalistic book from what I understand, and this book is considered to be a good source of information because it has some of the people who participated in these acts as sources. Like interviews were probably done, and then this book came to be, and then this is the source, and it's available on the actual CIA website. And the context for this whole thing is obviously conflict between the US and the Philippines. And the CIA sent a specific group of soldiers there, and called it a Psy-war operation. So it was just there to not really, started a lot of killing, but to make people, be scared, to scare them away. And the whole story goes like this: like those soldiers went there and started spreading rumors of a mythical vampire. I like the term here used is aswang. I hope I'm probably like super like butchering this whole term, but it's something they know, like the people living there, as we know vampires, we know zombies and all that shit, and then they have obviously also some mythical beasts, and the mythical vampires there are what they call aswang. I'm gonna just call it that, and they go there, plant these rumors, and then give it a couple days, and when some of the people living there went to the mountains that the rumors were saying there's the vampire and all that shit, they went to the mountains, and the soldiers ambushed the last guy silently, like they were going up the hill at night, whatever. They snatched one of the guys, poked two little holes in the neck of the guy, turned him around, made him bleed out, so vampire-like, and then just planted the corpse in the open. So when the soldiers came back, or other people came back and saw it, they got so scared that they just ran away. The soldiers really went there and sacrificed. I don't even know if it's an actual soldier. It was just it's described as sympathizers or whatever, people who just were interested in checking out the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't even know where to start with this, because the CIA does a lot of shit, like a lot of weird shit. I remember even like while researching this, reading about some Vietnam magic or dark magic shit. Not really sure if that is actually happening here. So I definitely need to look into some more CIA conspiracies, psyops, whatever you want to call them. But oh yeah, and that Bin Laden has two dubbed episodes of Detective Conan on his hard drive when it was found. Exactly.
What? He does?
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'm probably digressing here, but yeah, the hard drive thing that was found from Bin Laden, it had some weird shit on it. Like, it had Minecraft maps on there. As I said, dubbed episodes of Detective Conan, so he was definitely watching anime, some other anime as well. And yeah, it even says for the dubbed episodes of Detective Conan anime right next to new footage of drone strikes. And
what the fuck?
I remember even like some. I might be incorrect, but I remember reading some shit about Animal Crossing on there as well. I'm not entirely sure. Like, he had a map or some shit. But Minecraft was, as I believe, factual here. That it was actually like some maps were found there. He was watching anime. He was playing some video games. I believe, yeah, CS:GO as well, right? He also obviously plays CS:GO.
What the fuck was this man doing?
I mean, he was he was a terrorist, but at the end of the day, he's still a guy.
Yeah,
he's still a guy, just gaming, having fun. Maybe on Discord, had a server, maybe, we don't know.
That's fucking crazy. Was Minecraft? What was that, like 2009? Was that out?
2009. I'm not sure. Might be like some early versions of it. Yeah, like because Minecraft is older than than we think, because at first they released like the alpha, then the beta, like before the actual game came out.
Yeah.
I also don't know when the hard drive, like when this thing happened. I don't have the year like just on me right now, but yeah, supposedly some maps, some other games. CS:GO is, I mean, pretty ironic, as I said, and some other things. I definitely need to look into this whole CIA thing, but the vampire thing just struck me as something rather unbelievable. Kind of funny, but then again, they just killed some person's vampire style and made people run away from this area, because they were like that was an area like the mountains where they started the rumors saying that there are vampires in the mountains.
Yeah.
They just did. That was like in an area during the war or during the conflict that they really didn't want their enemies to reach. Like it was a place that had to be, completely clear. So they just, instead of like completely killing everyone, started this whole thing. You could call it merciful, kinda, maybe, but it's still kind of weird. Low key. What if it's a war crime? I don't know all the rules, but this feels kind of fishy.
It
No idea though.
1000% does. Like, look at what the extents they be going to just to get something done. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe new conspiracy, maybe actual vampires exist and it's just the CIA doing it. Like they are the vampires. Who knows? Maybe this is it. All the mythical beings we know, zombies. Zombies are not really mythical. What am I talking about? But whatever, zombies, vampires, giants, gnomes, and all. It's just the CIA doing some
CIA.
wild shit everywhere. Yeah. It all tracks back to them. And I mean, I'm talking about it right now. I might be, found in a body bag in a couple days. Who knows?
If that's what they kill you over, and there's people doing like whole JFK conspiracies, like nah, you should be good.
No.
Like,
I'm also not the only one talking about it. Like I found a tweet from 2021, like in December, that had 109,000 likes on this whole ordeal. So it's definitely very popular. At least it was popular a couple it's 2023 already. What am I talking about? Like 2 years ago, 1 year ago. But yeah, maybe for next time, I might look into some more CIA stuff, not just one thing for next time. But this one, I just wanted to look into some more, so I didn't have enough time to look at a second example. But from what I got, the CIA has a lot of weird stories that I need to check out and also tell you on here. But yeah, this is about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the CIA, like anything that's skeptical that comes from like conspiracies, like they got of course, like I said, the JFK thing, like they always goes back to the CIA because they are always constantly hiding stuff, either the CIA or the FBI.
Yeah.
Like even that's where the whole, I'm pretty sure, like the Men in Black thing comes from, because the CIA would just visit people's houses after talking about aliens, and they would just say, "Oh, their eyes were completely black." No, and like they would say they're aliens themselves or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this one story of this guy. Obviously, not sure if if it was actually like if there was any proof. But isn't that like the story about some guy uncovering some secrets and then some people came to him with their like shining light eyes, shit, telling him to.
Yeah, it was with the whole UFO conspiracy. Somebody that had written a book about it. I'm pretty sure it was a while back, but yeah, he definitely saw he talked about it to the news company, and then the day it published on the news, they showed it to his door and was like, "No, you're not surviving."
Oh, he died. He died after that. Right.
Yeah, like he exposed them, and then he found out like conspiracy, like he just mysteriously his body popped up or whatever.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, next time probably some more CIA stuff more than just one example. Because if I remember correctly, Vietnam dark magic or like fake haunting or whatever, I have to look into this.
Yeah, that sounds interesting already. I don't know what the fuck it is. That sounds crazy.
But yeah, I think these are our stories. Some Alcatraz stories that are definitely making you root for the inmates for some reason, but I guess that's just typical for any escapes. They have some crazy IQ there, like they just know what they're doing after being there all these years.
They don't want to fucking be there. They want to escape that shit. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we had Alcatraz, we got vampires and CIA. Pansy wants to delve deeper into CIA, so tune in next week. I don't know about conspiracy yet, but I'll try to go along the same lines of like just deep conspiracies. I'll get off the like real life Alcatraz stuff. I'll try to do like a mysterious one I always want to talk about. Maybe go deeper into skinwalkers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but this has been Further Beyond. Pan, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Sure.